been?
Well,
Well,
it's go time.
the video is finally being made.
It is. The video of how me and Emily Arbelias met.
Do you want to start?
No, you got it.
Okay, so I was in the C Lab, which is our computer lab at Liberty, and I was there with two of my friends. We had last semester a night class that was 3 hours long, and it was a translation class. And so every Monday, we would go and we would look over our translations, practice them. Like, so on October 8th, we were in there, we were doing our like normal thing. And as I was sitting there, I looked to my left and I'm like, holy crap, who is that?
I mean,
I noticed that he was wearing cowboy boots and I was like, okay. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is so cute. Like, he had like the military-ish like haircut. So I just kept sitting there doing my homework. All of a sudden, like, someone like interrupts us and is like, what are you guys doing? And it was Mr. Alex.
so my part of the story leading up to October 8th, I had just got out of class and I was like, you know what? I'm looking kind of ugly. I might need to go get a haircut. And so off I went to Great Clips. And the lady at Great Clips absolutely buzzed my head. I mean, like, all the way around. And I literally looked like a skinned cat, like a Siamese cat. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, whatever. Gotta go get my work done. And so I walk into the C Lab. I walked in and started Snapchatting Alex because he was literally sitting right there. Yeah, the messages were like, dude, do you see that girl? And Alex was like, dude, like, okay, I'll like say something. So Alex turns around and was like, hey, so like, what are you guys talking about? And I turned around and my face got beet red. I mean, like, the color of Rojo in itself. And I'm pretty sure I like immediately turned back around. I was like, Alex, dude, like, that's the cutest girl I've ever seen in my life. Like, you gotta help me out right now.
This is what I thought. So I was like, that guy's super cute. Like, oh my gosh. Meanwhile, I have a boyfriend. So
And I didn't know that either.
he didn't know that. And so that day ends. October 8th ends.
It hasn't ended yet. Me and my roommate Alex went up to the room and had like a 2-hour conversation about this girl. And I was like, dude, it's been like 2 things I've been praying for since I was like 10. I said, to literally look at someone like you and be like, Lord, help me, please. I want to talk to her more. I was like, please, God, just help me. And he did.
He did.
So I was like head over heels, like, oh my gosh, I gotta see this girl again. Like, I don't want to just even look at her. So you best bet your boy was in the C Lab every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the funny thing was, like, 4 weeks ahead in school. So I had no reason to go to the C Lab. So I would spend like maybe 2.5 hours every day. And like, just let me, like, please show up. I would just go there and like read. Like, I would literally just read my Bible. Yeah.
And so there was one day that we were in the computer lab. It was again another Monday. And
I was like, we should all do something. And right after I said that, Emily was like, yeah, like, that would be fun. And then she did like this little weird, like, we should all write our numbers on this like piece of paper. And she like whipped out a note card and was like, and like got it. And I was like,
then comes Thursday night. And I like pick up my phone and I see like a message from a number I don't know. And I open it and it's play. And
it was a text that took, let's say, an hour and a half to formulate. But I wanted to make it sound like subtle too. I was like, hey, I know we had discussed like all going as a group. I still think that would be really fun. Like, what do you think?
So that night, I remember I went to sleep. We had planned that night on Thursday that we were going to all go hang out. I went to sleep that night and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I did not sleep at all.
I slept like a baby.
I did not sleep at all. I was like, I felt like my heart was like being ripped out of my chest. So then the next day comes, we all go and hang out. It was really fun.
It was fun. I was just still like, yeah, cute girl. Like, I'm actually having a conversation.
So after that day, like, I was just like torn. So then that following Monday comes around. So that was Friday. Following Monday comes around. We see each other, C Lab again. That night, I was like, I need to say something. I drove after my 3-hour class to his house and I like went there. He could just tell something was wrong. And then I start crying. And so that's when I like explained everything. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I feel like I have feelings for this guy. So he was pretty much just like really caught off guard and was like, I need to like be by myself. Like I need to be by myself. I was like, oh my gosh, like what the heck did I just do? And so then that day like Tuesday goes around, then Wednesday comes around and I'm like, I can't do this. So my boyfriend comes over and I'm sitting in my room crying. I just like tell him the same thing as again. I feel like I need to take a break. Like I need to figure out what's going on. So we take a break.
And then to preface this, that Sunday, I like in my head, I was like, okay, I know she has a boyfriend. Like Clay, you know, this would not be the right thing to do. So I was like, I'll give it a week. If my feelings grow even more, I was like, I'm gonna have to define the relationship.
During this time, some big huge thing happened with Alex, and you were excited to like tell me about it. You're like,
we were like when can I tell you?
Yeah, and I was just like, oh well, I'm in New York right now, but like I'll be home on Sunday. If you want to tell me, you can tell me like on Monday in the C Lab if you want, or like whenever I get back. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, like I'll tell you whenever you get back. I like text him and I'm like, yeah, if you want, like, would you want to grab food really quickly? I haven't eaten at all that day. It was weird because you said you hadn't eaten at all that day either.
Because I was nervous.
Yeah, so I was not expecting what was about to happen.
Yeah.
So we go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
B-dubs.
We get food and then we get in the car, so we're leaving.
So once again, Sunday to Sunday, I told myself I'd give a week. And it just so happened that we ended up hanging out a whole week later, like almost exact time too. So I was driving along, got to a stoplight. I was like, hey, so I want to talk to you about something. So like out of respect for you and your boyfriend, like I don't want this to continue like without you knowing like how I feel. And I was like, I really like you a lot.
And so then I was just like, I didn't even know where to begin to explain.
She literally went like this. She was like,
I pretty much was just like, I feel the exact same way. I don't really know what's going on. Like,
yeah, I don't know what's going on. That was like the biggest thing.
So the next day goes on. I'm supposed to have my night class. And I was like, I can't even go to my night class. Like, I was like, so just like my mind. Yeah, like my mind was like all over the place. So I leave campus. So this is where it gets like literally insane. I go home and I'm bawling. I text my boyfriend and I'm like, hey, like, can you come over to my house? And so I'm sitting there and like the whole time, like, God, like, I just need a sign. Like, please, like, just a sign, like one. And I pick up my head as I'm praying this. In my room, I have like a legit sign that says home sweet home. And my eyes like only went to the sweet part, which is Clay's last name.
Sweet.
And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know if this is the Lord, like, just giving me a sign or if this is just a coincidence.
It was.
But it's the Lord, like, I'm going for it. So I was just like, we need to cut this off.
In the meantime, in the exact same time, me and my roommate, we were sitting in our room. I was not bawling, but I was just like upset. And I was like, Alex, dude, like, just pray for me. While I was sitting there, chill bumps. All of a sudden, I was just like, God, like, give me a sign, like, what to do. And like a piece went down, and all of a sudden, like, rifle scope like pops in my head. Like, the words came in my head. It was like, take your shot. Immediately I knew like this is something that you're gonna miss out on if you don't go. I was just like, all right, I'm doing it.
So as I was breaking up with my boyfriend, he like left my house, like standing in my room, literally bawling. And I pick up my phone and I see that Clay had texted me. And he was like, can I please just like come over? I just need to talk to you for like
5 minutes.
Yes, that's what he said.
Because in the meantime, or like while we were talking, I was like getting all these things from God. And you still have that piece of paper, don't you? And I was just like writing all these things. And I just wanted to go over there and talk to her. And so I hopped in my car.
So pretty much where we ended on that was like, we talked about everything. Everything with my boyfriend like was ended. Like it was like we were broken up. I was like, I need to call my parents. Like no one knows what's going on. One person knew, my friend Wes, but none of my family knew. So call my mom and I'm like, Mom, like I need to tell you something. Tell her the whole spiel. And she's like, Emily, I had a dream this past weekend and I've never had this dream before, that your boyfriend broke up, and it felt so real. She was like, I even told your dad, I told your sisters while we were in New York, all of them except for you. And I was like, Mom, like, what? Then I called my dad, and he was just like, Emily, like, for the past 2 years, like, I've been, you know, praying and like really seeking the Lord and fasting and like asking the Lord, you know, if this is a person like God has for you, like, just like open my eyes so that I can see this like really happening. And if not, he literally prayed. He was like, I asked that like you bring someone either into like Emily's boyfriend's life or like her life to like take them out of the situation if this isn't the person that you have for them. I was like, what? Like, what? So like, that's like sign number 3.
Already.
So then time goes on, and we're gonna like end with this story because this is like
This is my favorite story.
Yeah. It was December 6th. I woke up that morning and I was like, Lord, who do you have for me? And so I like asked the Lord that day. I was like, I know this is stupid. So I was like, God has never done this before, but could he please like just like write me a letter or leave me a flower on my car? And like, since I'm asking this like specifically, like, I'll know it's from you. So that day goes on. Clay texts me. He's like, hey, do you want to go on a date tonight? And I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm going to be getting flowers or a letter.
Yeah, flowers and a letter, but, you know.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. We go on a date, and I text him that night. I'm like, thank you so much for, like, taking me out to dinner. Send text, go to sleep.
Once again, I was still just trying to figure everything out. Like, you just get a grasp on everything. And me and my roommate talked till like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I was like, crap, I didn't tell Emily like good night. So at that moment, I was really laying in my bed about to go to sleep. And God was like, write her a letter. And I was like, what? And put it on her car. Like in my head, like my eyes were closed and everything. It was like, you know what? I got out of my bed, took like an hour and like
3 o'clock in the morning.
Ritz crackered this note out. And I was just like, this is pretty cool.
So that morning I woke up and like he didn't text me back, and I was like, ooh, that's not good.
And I was worried too. I was like, man, that's gonna seem bad. Like, God told me to write a letter, put it on her car. I'll leave it at that.
So I am going to lunch with one of my friends, Madison, and afterwards I'm like, hey, can you drop me off by my car? She's like, yeah, of course. So we go by my car, and I like notice something's on my windshield. This is the day after I prayed for this. I like walk over and I'm like, someone left me a letter. I get in Madison's car and I like open it, and like literally the first sentence is like, hey Emily, like I hope I didn't scare you by not texting you back last night, but for some reason I felt like God was telling me to write you a letter. And I was like, what? Like, God, this isn't funny. Like, this is not funny anymore. Like, what the heck is going on? And on the freaking back of the letter was a flower. And I was like,
can you insert that?
Yeah, I'll take it. I have a picture of it, and I'll insert the picture. I was like, dumbfounded.
And she sent me a text. She was like, I'm about to throw up. Blah. I was like, this just happened. I was just like, what? Like, I never had anything happen to me like that before.
Yeah. No, I had not either. Like, that was like the most insane thing.
And then for me, boy, so my father had always told me, he's like, the moment like I laid eyes on your mom, I was just like, boom, like best looking girl I've ever seen in my life, right? And then October 8th, I walked into the C Lab and saw the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. And it happened. Like things that you pray for, like I said, since I was like 10, like to see someone and you're just like, oh, bro, like what? She's mine. Like you can, it's just so exciting. And like the fact that God is in it and that he will like just guide you.
So the reason that we wanted to do this was just to like really encourage people, keep praying, keep like seeking the Lord, like write a list out. Like,
it doesn't have to be just with a relationship either. It can be anything. Like ask.
Yeah, because he will tell you. He will 100%. Yeah, so that is our little love story.
That's our love story.
We have more. If you guys just have any questions about anything, we'd love to make another video. So this is EC Does It.
EC Does It. Time will tell. The story swell.
You guys know where that's from? Check out Vlog 1. Okay, well, we'll catch you guys later on the flip side. Peace, brothers.